Lesson 4 of Personal Narratives, and it's time to celebrate. I'm so proud of the ways that you're growing so quickly as writers. You may not realize it, but you've already come to understand something critical in the life of a writer. Do you know what it is? You've learned to be a risk taker. Writers are incredibly brave people. They take risks each time they put their pen to paper and tell a story. It's not easy to think about a time you had a strong emotion and share that emotion with all of your readers, but you guys have been doing an amazing job at doing just that. Today's goal. As writers of true stories, you already know how important it is to write from inside the story moment, telling the story as it unfolds, beginning, middle, and end. But today, I want to teach you that writers are especially careful about telling the details of the story exactly the way the narrator perceived them at the moment. What does that mean? It means point of view. And we've already talked a lot about point of view looking through other authors' work, different stories that we've read in class, whether it's short stories that we read in our small groups or the novels that we read. We talked about how the point of view is the way the narrator, the person telling the story, sees things through his or her eyes and senses. The details in the scene need to be the one that the narrator can take notice. Otherwise, they don't belong there. The same is true with your story. It needs to be told from your point of view, your perspective. Example. I was still at the changing table, my little sister squirming beneath me, when my dad put the box on the kitchen table, and then peeling off a long strip of tape and pulling back one of those flaps, looked in on a jumble of family photos with little photo albums scattered throughout. The photos showed me and my sister when we were little. They were the ones he'd lost. What is wrong with the point of view in this story? Take a second and look at it. See if you can figure it out. Where is our narrator? Our narrator is under the changing table with our little sister squirming. She couldn't possibly see what is in the box all the way over on the kitchen table where Dad is standing. So she is writing the story from her perspective because she's using the word I, but then she's telling me things that she can't see as if she could. And we don't want to do that when we're in a personal narrative. It should have been written like this. I was still at the changing table, my sister squirming beneath me, when my dad came into the kitchen and dropped a heavy carton on the kitchen table. I hear him rustling about, and then I hear him mutter, "Unbelievable! Just unbelievable!" He called across the room. "Remember all those lost photos from our farm? They're all here." How did the author change the point of view? In order for the author to let us know what was in the box, he added dialogue from the father. It makes the story more interesting and more exciting, but it also makes it more real. The person who's under the changing table wouldn't have seen what was in the box, but they could know if their father told them. So this is a better example of how to correctly write a personal narrative from the author's point of view. Once you get used to the concept of stepping back into time, thinking of your past, and writing from only one perspective, it becomes easier to spot moments when you fall out of that perspective. We're going to try some. Let's practice. I made my way slowly toward the front of the line. As one by one, kids in soggy bathing suits sat at the edge of the water slide before disappearing suddenly down the chute. I was next in line, and the thumping in my heart was almost audible. I can do this, I thought to myself. I took one step forward. Am I still inside the story or have I fallen out? Is this story told from the author's point of view and only the author's point of view? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Good, I'm glad I'm seeing all those thumbs up. It tells me that I am doing an excellent job at making my point and an excellent job with my x-ray vision through the computer. Let's look at the next part of the story and see if I stay in my point of view. Soon, I was at the edge of the slide. I leaned forward just enough to peer down below at the small blue rectangle of a pool dotted with heads of swimmers below. I shut my eyes quickly, dizzied from the height. Am I still inside the story or have I fallen out? Thumbs up or thumbs down? You should be having your thumbs up again. I'm still inside this story. I carefully sat down, feeling the cold rush of water beneath me. My hands gripped the edge of the slide. Ready? The attendant asked. I think so, I replied, still unsure. My cousin waited at the bottom, wondering what was taking me so long. Am I still inside the story or have I fallen out? And we should have our thumbs down here. We did almost a perfect job, but that last sentence where it says my cousin was wondering what was taking me so long, I couldn't possibly know what my cousin was wondering unless he told me. So we could change that so that after I got down the slide, my cousin told me, I was wondering what was taking you so long. So here in that very last sentence, I have fallen out of my point of view. Now you'll remember we had a chart that we had started of the ways that we can write personal narratives. The words that are on our black bullet points are the things we had already added in the last 2 weeks. We can think of a person, place, or moment in our life that matters to us, that's really important, and write a story about it. We focus on one episode. We call that a seed detail. And we zoom into that seed moment and we write with detail about our senses and dialogue. We could help the reader picture the episode by putting in small actions and including exactly what the characters are saying. And today we're going to add that. We're going to climb inside that moment, that seed moment, and we're only going to write from our point of view because we are the narrative. Now it's your turn. I want you to think of the story that you were writing yesterday or the day before. You should already have 2 narrative pieces in your journal. So I want you to pick one of those pieces that you've already written, and I would like you to go back to it. Now that you have that story, you're going to travel back into time and you're going to really think about it from your point of view. What did you see? What did you hear? What did you smell or taste or feel? Now, as you write, you're going to use this strategy. You can use this from now on in your writing life. You're going to hold tight to that picture that you have in your mind, and you're going to zoom into all the little tiny details of just that one place, that one moment, to see exactly what you were doing in that story and what you were seeing and feeling. What were you saying? What were you doing? Those are the 2 questions you should be asking yourself. Don't forget about your conventions as well. Go back and reread your own work, please. As I'm looking through some of your journals, sometimes I could tell what you meant to say, but you're missing words. Your mind was moving faster than you were typing. A lot of times I'm seeing still that lowercase I, or we're missing periods. Go back through and check all those grammar things. Does it make sense? Am I missing anything, words or parts? Are my sentences complete, or do I have fragments or run-ons? Did I use correct capitalization? Did you use commas and quotation marks when you're using dialogue? Do all the words seem to be spelled right? If you are using your Google Chromebook, you should be using Grammarly or the Spell and Grammar Check. There's no reason why words should have red squiggles under them. And did you remember to indent using the tab key for each new paragraph? Keep these things in mind. These are things to go back. These are revisions, editing and revising. So when you're first writing your piece, just get your words out on paper. But then go back and see, do I need to make corrections, editing? Are there things I can add to make it better, revising? So today is an editing and revising day. You're going back to one of the pieces you have already written and you are seeing how can you make that piece better. Can't wait to read them. We will have our author's chair this Friday if you are planning on joining us in Zoom. So think about that because you're going to need to choose one of your pieces that you want to share if you're going to be a part of that. Have a great day.